listening to WKIT, Pyramid One World Radio. This is a Pyramid One International Network presentation. Hi, and welcome to Pyramid One World Radio. Let me tell you about a new show coming to Pyramid One. The name of the show is Mystic Spirit. Now, let me tell you about the host. His name is J.K. Miliken. He proudly served his country as an enlisted man in the United States Air Force. Following his retirement from active duty, he traveled across the United States, seeking a place to call home. And in 2005, he moved to Arizona. He has been a guest on Conscious Speaks radio podcast with host Kellie J. Wright. And right here on Pyramid One Radio with myself and Jamie Clark. In 2019, he completed 2 transformational journeys with Kellie J. Wright, which forever has altered his life. He states, "I had no intention of ever writing any spiritual book following my journeys, but the Spirit told me otherwise." His 3 spirit-led books, My in 90-Day Transformation and In 8 Journeys with Kellie J. Wright, Life After My Transformational Journeys, and Life Before My Transformational Journeys. They were all published in 2021 and are available. They're available right now. You can go right now and get a copy of this at Amazon.com. In 2022, at the continued urging of Spirit, he began to voice the Mystic Spirit podcast on Facebook. And today, right now, he's with us for a live version of the same podcast. Of course, I am speaking about no other than J.K. Miliken. Put your hands together. Let's welcome him to Pyramid One World Radio. Well, there you go. There you go. Hey, listen, everybody out there, this is how you do it. You dial 609-663-0153. You come right into the show right now and talk to us right where we are now. Or, here's another way to do it. Go into Google and put in Pyramid One Radio. Scroll down and you'll see one of the names, one of the Pyramid One's names, and that has Wix, W-I-X, right behind it. When you see that, click on that, go into the website, that's our landing page, scroll down, and you'll see a chat room. You can ask me anything that comes to your mind right now on the show. While we're here, I'll read your question, and you'll get your answer. So if you don't want to dial on the phone, you can use the chat room. If you don't want to use the chat room, just email to bobcharlesshow@live.com, and I get those emails too, right while we're right here. So there you go, all set up. Now, JK, how Hello, JK.
Yeah, you're breaking up there.
I'm breaking up.
Yeah, your picture is freezing.
Really?
Yeah,
That's kind of weird. Yours didn't move.
yeah. Well, I'm a statue.
Yeah, well. Anyway. No, we got too much power coming in over here, so nothing's gonna go. Anyhow, long story short, go for it. What's up?
Well, today I'm going to talk about beauty because it's sort of an extension of what we talked about last week and about how the bullying affected my life and how it affected my self-perception and basically how these transformational journeys are self-healing. People don't realize, I mean, it's good and great to have a coach like Kellie J. Wright, and she is fantastic. But if you follow my lessons and answer the questions for yourself, you can actually get on the road to self-healing. That's one.
Right? I was gonna say that the way things are now right now, people don't realize how important steps like this really are to keep their life in one piece. We're being pulled. We've been being pulled in a billion different directions. It's like there was somebody that I just spoke to just this morning, and they said, I don't know what's going on. I got a headache all the time and I feel irritable all the time and this and that. And I said to him, I said, well, do you ever sit down? And I said, and just sit down. And I used to use this for hunting. I said, sit down somewhere and make up your mind. Are you or are you not lost? And they said, well, what do you mean by that? I said, well, one time I said in the woods, I was out in the Catskill Mountains, and it's a big, mountain range. It's up in New York State. And when you get up there, everything looks, it's a tree, it's another tree, it's another tree. Which way did I come in? I don't know. It's one of those things. I actually literally sat on a rock and decided, made up my mind that I was lost. When I did that, the clarity that came to me was unbelievable. My ears got more sensitive, my eyes got more sensitive. I was stuck and I had to get out. And I heard in the distance water. Well, when we came into that water where the mountains were, there was a reservoir. And water has to run downhill. So when I heard the water, I followed the water, came to the reservoir, and there was my heart hunting partner. So I wasn't lost anymore because I sat down and decided I had to do something. I was lost. That's what people have to do today. Listen to you, and that's after they decide they need help.
Yeah, because I was lost, Bob. I mean, really, really lost in the woods.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and I
what.
had no direction. Which way did I go? Where did I travel to? What's ahead? What's behind? What's now? And I was really lost until God led me through a bunch of synchronistic events, because that's really how only way that could be possible. Led me straight to Kellie J. Wright, which totally improved my life. And now I'm doing podcast.
Yeah, well, now you've decided to yourself that you're where you should be.
Well, they're still working with me. And one thing we need to change, though, is I no longer are writing books, and my books are no longer available on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, I took them off because my books actually it's going to be told on these shows. So why write a book if you can tell it on the show?
Uh,
And Spirit said it was okay to do it that way.
you know what I'm going to do, and that maybe not this time, but another time, and that everybody that we know that would do it, we're going to do a Zoom. We're going to bring all these people in that for an actual teaching session. They can all come in. They can all come in with their questions. They can all listen. They can
Yeah,
all learn all at the same time on one place.
that would be kind of cool. It'd be nice if you can bring in Kellie too.
Well, there you go.
but I'm not sure she has the time. She's so busy. I haven't heard from her for a couple of months. So, except on Facebook, of course, I hear from her all the time, but I don't hear her calling me. She does call me on occasion. We talk.
Oh, there you go.
She's awesome.
It's
She's my soul sister.
It's just like everybody else. I mean, as I was saying, people who find themselves, and you too. Once you're on the road, and you just said that there's still things that you have to fix up. Okay, so you found the road. Now you know this is the road you want to go down. This is your path that you want to go down. You just have to keep going. Just keep going forward. Don't look back. Don't say, well, if I didn't do this, or if I didn't do this, don't even think about it. Just keep going forward.
Well, that's the woulda, coulda, shoulda idiom.
Right. Yeah. And it just doesn't work. Just don't.
Well, I've been down that road, Bob, and that road, like you say, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You can't.
You can try. Yeah. You can try all you want to, and then you just don't get anything out of it. Or like in my case, in all the things that I've been through in my life, which was really, really weird. You know what I mean? It's like I don't feel my age whatsoever. I mean, I can still go out, even though I got a couple parts in that are hurting from playing tennis and basketball and football and all that kind of stuff. I still, the old injuries, but those kind of things that it's like, I don't know. I'm in the spot of my life that if I lived another 30 years, I don't think I'm going to change that much. I really, really don't. Ever since, well, I was a musician all my life, and I jumped up and down on stages and had guitars over my head, and the whole, the long hair, the piece, all the concerts and everything else, and then toured the world twice and all that kind of good stuff. But out of all that stuff, when you're doing that kind of stuff, you're a kindergarten kid. You really, really are, because it's a fantasy world. It really, really is. Now, there's a hard side of it, and that's the side that the musicians or singers or actors or whatever get into: the drugs, the drinking, and that whole thing.
Yeah, adult.
Right. We had four. How would you say it? 4 college smart guys. In my band, we didn't. If we had a beer before we went home, after we played, or whatever, maybe one beer. That was it. The other thing in that I personally I like bourbon. So I'd have a glass of bourbon because it was the only way I could ever go to sleep, because I was jumping around on a stage for 4 hours.
Yeah, you're all pent up energy. Yeah.
Forget about it. Your heart's going through the roof, and you got to slow your body down somehow, and that's the only way it would be, because the next morning you'd get 5 o'clock in the morning, you got to get on an airplane to go somewhere else. It was like, so it was like kind of crazy. That kind of stuff, that kind of stuff keeps you mentally and physically, because your brain, operates the whole body. You only get as old as you think you are. If you really, really know that you're an older person, you'll be an older person. I mean, I see it like where my house is. It's in a community where most of the people are over 55. It's not an old thing. Everybody owns their own houses and everything else, but they're older people. And all these people that are 55 to 65, walking around with those walkers, and they got canes, and they're on bicycles at 5 o'clock in the morning riding around, and I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing, for crying out loud? It's like, hey guys, I have footballs here and frisbees here, and let's go in the back. I mean, there's big field. This is Florida. We got big grass fields in there with waterfall things and sprays and ducks and the whole 9 yards. I mean, we can go out and really, really have a good time just running back and forth. You put a rag in your back pocket, a rag tag, on a football field. All that stuff, and that's good. Do you know there's not one person? We even have an unbelievable billiards table in this place. I'm the only one who used it.
That's because everybody's thinking like they're old.
I don't know what it is. They're like, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do the other thing. It's, God put us here for a reason. so many of us don't know what the reason is. And I don't even really know why God put me here. He put me here, though, to interact with other people. That's his plan. That was his plan for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been doing all the things that I did. I was not one on one with anybody, but whomever I married.
Well, you're in the place where he wants you to be. So,
Yeah. I mean, his whole thing in that is to give people the ability or the information to make themselves better. So if
yeah.
that's what I'm here for and you're here for because of what you're doing, then we're talking to the same guy.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. He's guiding me all the way down to other stuff that I really can't talk about. But there's one special ability he gave me, but I can't talk about it. But uh,
You can talk about it as long as you beat around the
I can't talk about it. People think I'm whack. If I told my sister about it, she'd probably think I was wackadoodle.
Oh, I told my sister around, was it about anything like that? My sister would turn around and say, "That's you."
So I don't discuss that one thing. But he has me doing writing, which I still do. I still do writing, and I do write books, but not. But the books are going to be used for podcasts rather than for books. The books weren't moving at all anyway, so it's silly to pay all that money to get them published, and then nothing happens. So I do it now on the podcast now.
You know, for instance, if you're doing a book right now, which book? You know what I mean? If you're talking about the book, which book? Which of your books?
That the lessons is from.
Yeah,
As from the first one, my in 90-day transformation and innate journeys with Kellie G. Wright.
that's the first one. So okay, so what you do is you take that. You got chapter one. What's in chapter one?
Well, we did chapter one and chapter two. We talked about words. We talked about growing. Chapter three is beauty, and that's what I'm going to talk about tonight, which is an extension of of self-perception and bullying that we talked about last week.
Well, there you go. Anybody out there that's listening to this right now, and if you're not listening, I'm going to come out there and get you. This is what you do. You just dial that number, 609-663-0153. I'll go slow for those of you that are not listening quickly. 609-663-0153. Now, if you dial that number, you can listen to the show while you're on the phone until you're called for. So you can hear everything that's going on. You don't miss a beat at all. Of course, you may be 3 seconds off because we're on 3 seconds delay. So maybe your cell phone will have, you'll go crazy with an echo going between the phone and the cell phone. But if you're on the phone, you're live. So it's in the now. So there you go, 609-663-0153. Call in, say hi. I don't care. You don't even if you don't want to ask a question or anything else, Nat. Come in and let us know you're there.
Yeah, just say hello. We're
That's
here.
it. There you go.
We're easy going.
Okay, so beauty.
All right. So the thought of the day that came with this chapter is called "Beauty is Everywhere in Everything." And at the end of this really brief lesson, I'm going to cover more in depth what beauty is everywhere and in everything a little bit more in depth. So let me begin with the lesson there, Bob.
Yeah, what's the first? Just read the first paragraph. That should gear you right off.
Well, see, I now find myself being a positive influence, which because I've changed, I'm actually more positive with other people, and I kind of cheer people up throughout the day. However, I do that, with my sense of humor, or just say hello or good morning, or whatever I do with those people. And I had to let go of my dark past because it had held me prisoner for like most of my life. And so I had to say, well, this is going to have to stop. So God led me to Kellie J. Wright, and the rest is history. And we all know that life is full of ups and downs, of course. It's like a roller coaster. And I've been in both ends of the spectrum. I've been on the high side of happiness and down to the abyss of depression and despair. So now, and I've been in the middle for a long time as well. But now I'm on the higher side of the spectrum where my life is more positive. So during my life, we experienced from the good to the bad things that happens to us. And each one of those experiences is always something to be learned. Most of the time we don't pick up on that learning experience until it clicks in our head, go, wait a minute, I just learned something. And it helps with the change that you're going through. And a lot of times, we do things and it still has a positive outcome and it's good and everything, but we still could have done better. So we can always do better. And that's sort of being on the road to enlightenment. And to be enlightened, to me, you can't reach enlightenment. Our spirits or our minds are within ourselves, and we could go to a certain level of enlightenment, but we can't reach true enlightenment. Only our soul can actually reach true enlightenment. People don't get that. People don't understand that. You can't be a total enlightened human being unless you're God. Yeah.
I kind of there's two ways. There's two ways of that. On it, I learned it from Jamie Clark. Enlightenment or awakening, if you want to call it that, is something where you realize there's more than you. You have a soul.
Right.
This is a universe. There is a God. We are a reflection of the spirit coming from God.
Mm-hmm.
That reflection is what we see, hear, feel. These are all things that who knows? We could be living in a hologram,
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
This may not be a matrix. This may not be true. This may not be what's around us. May not really be happening.
Well, you think about it, we might
Or
be around. Yeah.
or where were we before? I mean, it's like as far as I know, as far as I've been told by people that take regression things, I had 11 lives.
Oh yeah, we had multiple lives.
That's going back pretty. I mean, I must have been some kind of crazy nut to want to come back. I mean, I had to be nuts because in fact, I already said to God in that a couple of times. I said, no kindergarten this time. I can't take kindergarten. No. I will start making people eat play. I'm serious. Or smack somebody with a Tonka truck or something. I don't know. But it's like one of these things that we've lived our lives, we think to the fullest, and yet we haven't attained that fullness yet, because that's where the enhancement or the awakening comes in.
Right.
And in the Bible, God promised it, and it's in Revelations. It's a realization of whom you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I lived a lot of different lifetimes, but I'm still here. And you question, well, why am I still here? Because we're not fully enlightened yet. We have learned all that we can learn in this realm of existence. So that's what I'm saying. Enlightenment cannot be attained because we can only go so far in this life. Our minds can only we're bound by our bodies, but the soul isn't. The soul can become enlightened, but
Sure.
human being can't be enlightened because we're limited by our minds. Our minds can only go so far.
Well, don't forget though, too, the human being is not the soul, the human, the flesh, this stuff.
Right. It's just a
This
body.
stuff
It's
is
just
it's a
spirit.
machine. It's a machine.
Right. Yeah.
The spirit is the battery. It's
Yeah.
what makes this move.
Right.
When the spirit goes, see ya, you're just a hunk of let me see now, because of inflation, maybe we're worth $14 now.
Yeah, an ounce.
Yeah, chemicals. I mean, that's about the size of it. I mean, really, seriously. I mean, you're worth $14, but you're, as long as you got a soul, you're worth.
Well, a lot of people get confused with
There
that.
are no numbers.
The spirits are emotional component that we have, but it in itself is not entity. Our soul is the entity. And the spirit,
Naturally, yeah.
and that's how it works, and that's the way religion works it. Same way.
Somebody said to me too. It's a while ago, and that I said that we were talking about it. They said, well, when you go to sleep, and that you can, that's when your soul is, putting itself back together, whatever. And I said, no, your soul is always.
Always
It's
on.
It's universal, all over the universe, all the time. I said, your body is resting. The machine needs rest. You have to turn it off.
Yeah, I agree with
But,
that. Yeah.
but the soul, I said to them, do you dream? And they said, yeah, we dream about this and that and the other thing. I said, where were you? I said, well, it was something I was doing for this or that or the other thing. I said, you can go anywhere you want in a dream. You can go to another planet. You can be with something else. Who knows? Maybe some other being on another planet or something. You can go anywhere you want to. It's an out of body experience. I did the thing. I think I told you about it one time. I went to the pyramid, to the real pyramid next to the real Nile River, and could smell it.
Yeah.
That's out of body.
That's out of body for sure.
But that's your soul showing you something. They're guiding you in a way. And that's why we actually, like as I said, going back to the rock, that's where you sit down on the rock and decide you're lost.
Right.
The soul typing you, what's this, tapping you in the shoulder and saying, dude, you're on the wrong road.
And unfortunately, a lot of times we don't listen to the soul, do we? So, and that's where we go wrong.
We're not brilliant. We're not smart.
Well, we're human. That's the problem.
Eh,
No way to fix that problem, Bob.
when we lose these bodies and we're just spiritual, that is the purest form of that was human. Not a human, but that was human. So therefore, that spirit is a free spirit, able to go and do anything, just about. But it's in the grace of God doing it. The love that comes from that, we were talking to about that next week. We got Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
People don't realize that love is more than a. No, you can't call me on the phone. It's Valentine's Day is more than candy, heart, and all this, what's this, roses and all that kind of stuff. The feeling of love only comes from the spirit through the heart. That's the only way it comes. All the rest of the stuff is like, for instance, I'll give you a good one that everybody can understand. When it's Christmas time, what do? You gotta get that tree, man. You gotta have that tree in your living room, whatever you can put it. I mean, I even have one in the bathroom. I did, really.
I don't have a tree. I don't. I'm too lazy to put one up.
Oh, no. I had gorgeous tree. But it's like you got to get that tree. But now listen, the tree is a beautiful green. It's got a great fragrance
Yeah.
to it. Is unbelievable. But what do you do to that tree? You dress it. You put on the balls and the things and the glitter and the stuff and everything else and that's not necessary because I'm still not here. Yeah. And they still don't give up either.
Should I not try to call here?
No, not. I have My cell phone has 3 numbers.
No, I know.
But the thing with that is where I'm going. At it. We think that Valentine's Day and that should be all these things that we need, all this decorations of the hearts and the roses and all this stuff. Show somebody you love them. No, hug someone, kiss someone, talk to someone, nose to nose or eyes to eyes. You do it. This is, the just the energy that goes between two persons. And I had to say persons because who the hell knows what's going on out there. But two energy sending persons when it becomes one piece of energy when the two of them are together and they attract. And that love that's felt, a lot of people don't realize it, but man, that is the most unbelievable feeling. There is nothing in the world better than that. There really, really isn't. And these are things that we have to learn, to give, not just receive, but give. So if you can give and receive at the same time, oh man, even God would look down and say, "Wow, somebody got it." But these kind of things that what you were saying before about beauty. Beauty is life, real life. We all have it. We all can get it. We can all attain it. We just need help.
Well, actually, Bob, we actually have beauty within ourselves. And that's the problem that we have. We don't see it. We see the facade of beauty all around us, all these external places. We see the facade of beauty everywhere. And we say, well, that's beauty, but we don't look within ourselves for the beauty that God has given us. And that beauty in itself is our abilities, our talents, and our love for humanity. That's the beauty of life.
Too many people too, and the one thing that I tell people all the time, you really can't. You have to love yourself first before you can love someone else.
That's true.
And so many people look at me and go, "What? Love myself? What are you crazy?" I said, "No, no, 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 no." I said, "Go in." I said, This is what I told somebody to do, and this it was a caller, believe it or not. It was a woman that was on the thing, and I was talking. I think I was with Jamie at the time, and I told her what to do. Go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, in the bathroom mirror. Look in it. Look in your eyes, the windows, the windows
Windows to the
of your
soul.
life. Right, exactly. Look in your eyes and say, "I love you." I said, "Believe it. Don't say it. Don't say it because I told you to say it. Say it because you
Believe.
love." And I said, if you can do that, I said, you will feel something go through your body. It's like energy. And you can actually literally feel this thing go right through you. And I said, if you can do that, if you get that feeling, then you have more to give everyone else and the world that you didn't know you had until you looked in the mirror and said, "I love you."
Yeah.
She
People
said, and I get mail once in a while from her. Just that one thing I had told her actually worked enough that she now tells other people.
It does work, Bob, because I was someone who hated themselves for many years. I was, like we discussed with the bullying last week, that's the effect that the bullying caused to me. It caused me so many different problems. It's just unimaginable what I went through just to get where I am at today.
But you're here today.
Right.
That
All
that's
because of
that's
and God, and now I'm here.
yeah. You know what? We got so many things that are going around the country right now with this thing against um, religions and all this stuff that's going on. I mean, seriously. That's why I always tell people. I said, look, don't listen. There's certain things that you can tune out and certain things you tune in. This is how you do it. You listen to everything, and you keep what you can retain and throw away what you don't. I said, forget about it. It never happened. I said, if you believe that you should go to church, fine. If you believe you shouldn't go to church, that's good too. Do you read? Do you read, the Bible? Do you read other, materials that are in that vein of the same? I said, if you do, that doesn't do anything. Doesn't make you a holy roller. I
No,
mean, you're not going to be one of these people that are going to be walking up and down going, that's not going to happen. But I said, on the other hand, is you're more educated in ways or things that you should know. You don't have to advertise it, just know it. And I said, these are things that help you. You're not helping everybody else that's been doing it, but you can realize that there is life out there, and you're part of it.
yeah, you got to find it once you get through all the distractions of life
Mhm.
and tune out all the terrible stuff, which I don't even listen to the terrible stuff. I just totally tuned out of all that mess.
So
I
many
don't,
people,
I don't have television.
so many people don't even listen to the news or anything else. And then I listen. There's news that I listen to because, and I'll tell you why. So many things that are on. There's two sides to a story. There's a one side and the other side. And if you put enough of them together, you will get the truth. You'll know which ones are not true, and you'll know which ones are true. But not unless you listen to them all, you pick out the truth.
Yeah, a lot of them are saying exactly the same thing as the other ones are saying. That's the problem. That really is the problem. So it's kind of hard. You got to filter through the truth and think about, well, what they're saying, think of the opposite, what they're saying, and that's the truth.
That's why I guess this that's why most of my posting and that of all the videos that we do on the network are now going to Rumble. We used to be on YouTube all the time, but now I'm leaving what's on YouTube, staying on YouTube, but everything else in that is going to Rumble because Rumble, they want truth.
Right.
True, Roaches. With YouTube, I had a host on here that was talking about a lot of things like nano nets and a lot of things that are going on right now in the medical field. He is a doctor,
Oh, yeah.
and he talked on the show about that. YouTube banned it.
Of course he would, because they're part of the cabal system.
Right. So he's on Rumble now, and of course, YouTube. I wrote them a nice note and told them that they can pound whatever.
Pound the pavement, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's so many people that are doing the same thing. It's not just me. There's a lot of people going to Rumble.
Well, Rumble's one of the best places to be. That's where I'm at all the time. I
Uh,
listen to stuff on Rumble.
some of the guys, some of the biggest radio shows in the country are on Rumble. They're off YouTube.
Yeah, a lot of them truthers went to Rumble because of all that nonsense. They keep getting cut off on YouTube, and
Mhm.
they keep losing their shows like every week. And they 10 different shows on YouTube, and then they all disappear. So they have gone to Rumble now, and a lot of people are on Rumble now.
Mhm.
There's people I listen to on Rumble.
Well, they can go sit on it. When it comes to even the music in that, I've had music on here that I wrote, that I wrote. I played it, in shows and things, and all of a sudden I get a thing from YouTube. I'm against community guidelines
Yeah,
for copyright and this and that. And I wrote back to them. I said, I copyrighted those songs. Those are licensed. I said, to me, I'm the owner. What are you telling me?
like you're saying, they don't care.
Uh,
Fact,
uh,
those fact checkers.
yeah. Let's get back to beauty.
Okay.
We're talking about the idiots out there.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to read this part now, Bob. Okay. This is the comment that I made earlier about beauty is everywhere and in everything. If we could see the beauty of our souls, our eyes would behold a plethora of the brightest colors never before seen by the human eye, a beauty beyond our most imaginative dreams. Beauty is within us all, but sadly we have forgotten our inner beauty because we have worshipped beautiful people because we do not see beyond their facade. But remember, even a rose has the thorns. We have lost sight of ourselves because we are all beautiful people on the inside, and we have to look deep inside to find it. As people, we should accept ourselves because God made us by design, not by mistake. In our teen years, some of us had our inner beauty stolen because we've experienced negativity from either non-physical or physical bullying. The ongoing non-physical and physical bullying I experienced destroyed my psyche, make me feel the lowest of the low. And unfortunately, I couldn't recover from this experience until my transformational journeys in 2019. But I still experience anger because it destroyed my life in ways no one could ever imagine happened to me. Most people do not understand the sheer magnitude of the post-traumatic stress that bullying can cause a child. For me, it resulted in unimaginable, unintended consequences in my adult years. And the reason I didn't want to face my past, because I would have to re-experience all that pain again. I finally found my inner beauty, but way too late in life. As a result, my entire perspective of myself has changed. So what is this mysterious beauty? It is the talents that God gave me. True beauty is about how we believe in ourselves through self-love and using our talents to benefit others and ourselves. And that's the reason I'm doing this Mystic Spirit podcast. And I finally actually found happiness by accepting the person that I am. So when you look for beauty in others, look deep inside to discover what they can offer the world. That's what beauty is, Bob. And too many people have their lives destroyed because of bullying and that really terrible thing happened to them.
There's so many things out there too that help them along. In a sense, like they got like Facebook where they have these dare things to go, and if you don't do the dare thing, of course, you get bullied. And then TikTok does it too.
Oh, they all do. All social
That
media.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's like bullying incorporated. All these things. I'm serious.
It's gotten worse, but really, it's gotten into every little thing. Before social media, it was just physical or bullying, people beating you up or people making fun of you and stuff like that. Well, now it's that plus all this stuff, social media. And sad is a lot of teenage children committing suicide because of it.
Yeah, which again, there's so many different ways that they might not have gotten to that stage. There's parents, there's teachers, there's counselors, there's all kinds of things.
Yeah, but some of
Even friends of friends can do the same thing.
yeah, unfortunately, the system's broken.
Well, see, that's why I said before, Ned, if you love yourself and you decide not decide, you love yourself, then you can start loving other people. When you start loving other people, that energy it's like what do you say it? Contagious.
Right, it's like the
So
flu.
one person after the other.
It's the first world.
For instance, I'll give you an instance of the thing. These kids groups that they have, like gangs, those kind of things. Like this one kid sees the other kid, now he can do that. Oh, that's really, really cool. Maybe I can do that. So then he tells the other kid, and the other kid does it, and another kid does it, and another kid does it. Now, wouldn't it be funny? Not funny, but more justified if someone told kids how to love. And I don't mean physical love. I mean mental love. I mean like helping somebody, holding a door, going to the store for somebody. All these things that we used to do when we were kids.
Yeah, respect for your fellow human.
Yeah, that we didn't even realize what we were doing, but it made us who we are today, and who and how we can tell other people how to be the same way we were when we were their age. which is kind of weird, but it kind of sort of comes around, really. I mean, I talk to the kids, the people that I talk to every morning, and that the group meeting thing and all kinds of stuff. Those people are usually below the age of 30. So okay, I can more than double their age, and at the same time, I'm telling them things that they said, yeah, I heard about that. I said, no, you hear about it right now. This is the now. Hello, I'm not on the cell phone. I'm in front of your face. And I'm telling you, these people, I'm telling you, people will wake up if you push them hard enough.
Yeah, they don't. They don't wake up until you wake them up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. It's like the thing that I was telling you with the door. Hello.
They're shocked because they don't know what to do because they don't know how to communicate any longer.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
that's a sad reality.
Well, their reality or their communication is through text, back and forth. I mean, look, I mean, I've seen it a dozen times, if not more, where somebody at that side of the room or that side of the building is texting to the guy on the other side of the be a building or something, when they could just turn around and scream over, "Hey, yo, come here," whatever. But got a text. It's like,
See, that's just way down where it should be.
but there was a boss I talked to the other day, and we were talking about it, and he turned around, and he says, "Bob," he says, "you're not going to believe this." He said, "One of my employees," he said, "text me that he had to go to the bathroom." I said, "What?" He said, "Honest to God," he said, "the guy," he said, "actually," and he was laughing so hard there was tears in his eyes. And I said to him, I said, "You got to be kidding me." He says, "No," he said, "He did. He really, really did." I said, "Look, this is what we got to start doing all over the whole country." And I mean, there's going to be a lot of people. I mean, it's going to be a train going 100 miles an hour into a wall.
Yeah.
I said, take their phones away when they walk in the door. Give them their own little mailbox and whatever else. Put the phone in there or whatever. Put a lock on it and give them a key. Here, your phone is in there, but you can't take that phone out until you go to lunch. And then when you come home from lunch, you put it back in the thing. Then you go work. And I said, your people, I said, will work a whole lot better. I said, if you do that, because I said, now they got these things in their ears, earbuds. I mean, I have them too. I mean, if somebody calls me or something like that, and I'm walking around somewhere, so I'm not going to answer the phone. But they have these things and they're listening to their music or they're talking. Like we have a guy at one of the places that I was at this morning. The guy walks around all day talking. It looks like he's talking to himself, but he's not. He's actually talking to somebody on the phone. How could you be that interested to be on the phone for 8 hours straight? How can you do that? And this is what's going. I mean, this is not something that's new. This has been going on for the last couple of years.
It's a mindset. You have to have a mindset to do that because you got to stay inside a bubble, and you have to exclude all the noise that's around you to 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 do whatever you're doing, like make a deal or what are you trying to do there.
I don't know. That kind of stuff drives it. Like my phone itself, and it's in my pocket all the time. I don't have anything in my ears. I put things in my ears, and then if I have to, if I know somebody's going to call me or something, I stick things in there so I know.
Yeah.
Other than that, the phone is basically, only for if the home calls me or if somebody needs me and calls me. There are three numbers because one number is an emergency number. So if you dial that number, then you come through with a whole different ring and everything else through the phone. So yeah, that's the way to do it. Okay, so I have a phone. I talk on the phone. I don't play with the phone. I do get emails on the phone, but that's about the size of it. I answer them one, two, three, boom, gone, done. But when you're walking around in your life and things are going upside down for you for some reason, whatever the reason happens to be, it's you're actually answering your own life by doing something for yourself. Yourself, your whole body, spirit, your soul is saying to you, "We're in trouble. We got to fix this."
Yeah, you got to feed your soul. Otherwise, your soul's going to be tapping on your shoulder. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, hello.
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. And really, I mean, your kind of awakening is pretty good stuff because I'm telling you, it's basic and it's right to the point.
Well, I had to wake up, otherwise I'd been doomed. I was doomed for a long time. I escaped out of that darkness. I'm glad I'm out of there. I really owe God a whole lot of stuff. And then it led me straight to Kellie J. Wright. And now she's actually my soul sister. I'm her soul brother, so we're really gotten close.
Well, there you go.
Even though we're distant, and we don't hear from each other very much, but she's busy.
There is I can't really say this because this is still it's one of Jamie's things in that, but there is a way to communicate with that person.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And this is going to be something that I'll bet any amount of money, man, a couple of years, and that this thing's going to be public. But it's not something you buy.
And
Yeah, it's not something you buy. It's something you learn.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it takes a lot of practice.
The only time that I ever had any kind of experience with something like that was with my sister. That's as close as I mean, and that's really close. I mean, the DNA is the same, so it's like Zam, you're on the same phone line.
Well, you got ether that floats above. I mean, our thoughts can travel in that ether and travel across to whoever you want to connect with, just like a telephone. You call someone on the telephone, it goes through a bunch of channels and it gets you to the person you want to speak to. Well, you do the same thing mentally as well.
Oh yeah, and it takes practice.
And
See, between my sister and I, she always like, for instance, we were when we were kids. I mean, we're talking I don't know, 2 or 3 million years ago. But we actually she could actually complete my sentence that I was talking to her with.
oh yeah,
I mean, that's how close.
that's
I
for
mean, we knew what each other was thinking.
spiritually attuned.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird. There's a number of years in between us, so
Yeah, you just never know.
she's the baby. But what else is in that chapter?
Well, basically, it's basically all I was going to say because it it's all about self healing. All these chapters I'm doing it each time we're doing one of these shows will help those out there to self heal if they just listen to the lessons. Uh, the next thing on the next show, though, what I want to do is I wrote a story, it's 4 pages long, called Akina the River Girl. And what I did is I snuck in all the lessons from the transformational journeys in there. And you would never know where they were there, but if you just listen, your mind would pick it up. And yeah, it's really cool. I sent it to Kellie and she liked it. So
yeah, it sounds kind of cool.
So that's what I'll probably do on the next go around.
When next let's see, next week we have Valentine's Day coming up. I want to see how many people actually get on the line because we're gonna have a very, very interesting Tuesday. It's going to be a lot of free readings and
it's gonna be hectic. I can tell you that.
it's going to be all for. I mean, if there's a couple that want to know more about themselves or about their relationship or where they're going or whatever, if they call in and that James is going to give free readings and free Maggie's going to do tarot readings.
Yeah.
Those people. So, and all those people at the same time and that have to come back here because they want to get the rest of the story on the love. They got to come back to this show. So things will be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like I won't be probably back on to the 28th because you got David coming on next in 2 weeks, right?
Well, let me see, 14th, 21st is David, 28th is you.
Yeah, so we can do that. And I'll read the story of Akina. It's a cool story. It really is. And it's kind of fun how I snuck in those lessons. And all the lessons from my transformation journeys are in there.
Wow.
But your mind will pick it up and you start thinking about stuff.
Well, next time you got something like that, copy and paste some stuff over. Send it over, and I'll stick it in. I'll send it out to everybody on the Facebook and everything.
I'll send it to you. I think I have your email. I think I have your email.
Yeah, oh yeah, you got it.
Oh, I have a email. I'm not sure if I got the right email.
There you go.
Oh, you stuck it on here? Okay, good. And I'll send it to you tonight. It's a cool story. But you don't know the lessons are there.
And there you go. And where can people get a hold of you?
Well, if people really want to get in contact with me, they can email me at jkmiliken, Miliken, at outlook.com, or they can call me at 480-228-9714. And to do that, they need to leave a message because I don't answer the phone unless they leave a message. If it's important, people leave a message and then I'll answer the phone. Because I get a lot of scam calls and I just don't answer.
He'll answer the phone. Don't worry about it. When you get on, you leave a message. Then if he can hear it, just go fire.
Yeah, well, then I'll call him back.
Yeah, that'll do it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like being in an office and at some place. Hey, maybe just maybe. I don't know if I have it. No, it's going to pay for the show. There's a thing that I wrote, and then about love, and I put it together with. You ever hear this thing where you can get an AI person, an actual AI person. There's people that have I guess recorded their voice, so they get a voice print,
Right.
and the AI systems take that, make a voice out of it. And
Right.
there's people that do novels, compositions, presentations,
Right.
all different type of people that are on there. Well, I took what I wrote and I put it together with Amy, which is her name, which does this stuff, and you would be blown away.
It's fun.
It is for Valentine's Day. If anybody doesn't get on to listen to this, you got to be crazy because I put everything I know in what I wrote that she'll read.
Yeah, I read one of the things you sent me, what you wrote, this, and it said about your book. And then you go, well, that's cool. Look at that AI. Look what it did for you.
Uh, you can do anything you want to. I mean, it's really, really, and all it is your own consciousness going into a program and making it work.
Oh, yeah. That's what
I
it
mean,
is.
if I didn't consciously write what Amy tells everybody about, then nobody would even know about it. So I had to put it down somewhere and write it. And who knows how many times then I re-edited what I said so that it sounded, it flowed in a sense. And then with the IAIs, if you're not technically savvy in a sense, there's a way to use commas and quotations to make the voice sound more real.
Yeah.
It actually pauses them in certain parts to on a certain words and things. It's amazing. I mean, when next week it'll be on what's it, Jamie's show for all those out there that are loving each other on Valentine's Day. So hopefully it'll be an unbelievable show.
It'll be a good show. It'll probably be busy.
Yeah. Hope. Yeah. Definitely. All right, we will be getting out of here. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, let me see, you're going to be on the 28th. And
Mhm.
what are you going to share with everyone on the 28th, do you
Okay.
think?
Akina, the river girl.
Is about?
Well, it's basically takes place probably somewhere in the past because you got the Amazon women attacking these tribes and stuff like that going on, and a mother apparently saved a baby, and she grows up to be a great warrior. It's a good, really good story.
In other words, they have to be on that night to listen to that story.
Yeah. Or and if they want to, and they listen, and say, "Hey, we want a copy," I'll send them a copy.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Or you can send me a copy and I'll give it to Amy and she can read it.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
No, why don't we do that? That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
And see how my story comes out with Amy talking about it, right?
Yeah. I'll send you the email with the other one for Valentine's Day. All
Mhm.
right. You know what? Since you're going to be back on the 28th, I want everybody to remember, number one, next week is Valentine's Day. Love everybody, not just one person. That person is your 100% laser driven love spot. But from that spot, it grows. Love grows. Love don't stay in one place. It grows. Like your soul, like your feelings, like your spirituality of yourself. Loving yourself grows. It is something that attacks everybody if given to the right person, and the right person turns around and says, I love myself. I love me. By doing that, everyone else falls in line and says, you're right. We love you too, etc., etc., etc. And it goes right down the line. We can make this world a lot better, a lot bigger, a lot smiling all over the place and feeling good about themselves. You can too. Love yourself. It's good. Meanwhile, God bless y'all. Bob Charles.